as we begin the National League Championship Series. Going to be about 45,000 in here. The temperature is 45 degrees, and it will be dropping as the night goes on. The forecast is good, but it is definitely October weather for October baseball here in the NLCS. Tonight's batting order presented by Exxon and Mobil. Dexter Fowler leads it off for the Cubs, followed by Kyle Schwarber, who's homered 3 times in this postseason. Chris Bryant, the likely Rookie of the Year in the National League, hits third. Then it's Anthony Rizzo, Starlin Castro, Jorge Soler, Javier Baez is the shortstop. Addison Russell not on the NLCS roster after his hamstring injury for Chicago. David Ross behind the plate, and John Lester does the pitching. How about the defense there, Iron Man?
Yeah, let me set the defense for you. Matt Harvey's on the mound. He's throwing to Travis d'Arnaud. Moving around the infield. You got David Wright with his 2 Gold Gloves. Michael Kadire over at first base tonight. Different. Daniel Murphy and William Flores at shortstop. Moving to the outfield, Juan Lagares with his 2014 Gold Glove. And on each side of him, you got Curtis Granderson and Yoenis Cespedes.
Well, you know his story well. Matt Harvey, an all-star in 2013, then had to have Tommy John surgery, missed all of last year, won 13 ball games, including one in the postseason 5 days ago.
He started Game 3 in the Dodger series, the National League Division Series, and did get the win. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 3 earned runs, had those 4 straight hits against him in the second inning as the Dodgers scored 3 times, but the Mets broke out the big bats in that game to win going away. Take a look at the umpiring crew here for the opener. Brock Drake is behind the plate, Tim Timmons at first. The crew chief is Ted Barrett, Paul Emmel at third. Eric Cooper down the left field line, and Bill Miller makes the calls down the right field line.
I think we tend to forget sometimes that this is what a joy it is for the umpires to get called to be in the postseason. All so worthy.
I was just looking at Harvey's stats. You talked about keeping the ball in the ballpark in the opener. He's given up 18 bombs, which kind of surprised me a little bit, but maybe not more in the first half than in the second half.
Dexter Fowler makes his way to the plate as the first pitch approaches here in Game 1.
Was it just me, or as the Cubs were introduced, it seemed like one guy got bigger than the other? This is a huge, talented lineup.
Yeah, wait till those 2, 3, and 4 hitters step in. You'll know exactly what Ron Darling is talking about.
And Fowler's no small guy himself. And he packs some power in that leadoff spot.
We are ready to go. Harvey into the wind. Strike 1.
Boy, look at his pitch arsenal. You'll see 2/3 of his pitches are fastballs. He has 188 strikeouts this season, but 80 were on changeups, curveballs, or sliders. So he's got the full arsenal.
Took something off there and had Fowler fooled. It's 0-2. Fowler hitting .300 in the postseason, which includes the wild card win over Pittsburgh, and takes it in tight. A ball and 2 strikes.
You know, when a power pitcher, a guy with a good fastball, has control of the changeup, from a hitter's perspective, you just can't wait long enough for the changeup.
One down as we check in with Sam Ryan. Sam.
Ernie, and much of the talk towards the end of the season on Matt Harvey was the innings limit, his first season back following Tommy John surgery. A couple of starts were skipped there. Well, he started Monday, as you mentioned. Now today back on normal rest, normal routine. He said as a starting pitcher, you get into your routine. I'm excited about being back on my normal routine on normal rest. And he said, I am all in for the postseason.
All right, thank you, Sam. Here's the Hulk, Kyle Schwarber. wingspan, 6 feet tall, weighs 235, used to be a linebacker in high school, and you can see why. A 1-0 from Harvey. There's a strike. Even up with a ball and a strike.
Harvey's got great command of that changeup early. Throwing it at will in different counts. Strikeout pitch and also from behind in the count.
It doesn't take you a long time to be shifted on in Major League Baseball today.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Not as dramatic a shift as we sometimes see, but Wilmer Flores basically behind the bag at second. Daniel Murphy in shallow right on the grass. The 1-2. 2 up, 2 down, 2 Ks.
Well, we talked about it with the weather affect the ability to grip the pitches. Not so far from Matt Harvey. Getting the changeup over, and now the wrinkle of the curveball gets Schwarber swinging.
How often was that your experience, Ron?
It's harder in the wind. It's very windy tonight. It's very cold, but you know you got that sweat working, especially in the first inning.
Chris Bryant swings at the first pitch, had him played perfectly, and Matt Harvey sails through the first. We head to the bottom half here on TBS. Tonight's batting order for the Mets is presented by Exxon and Mobil. Curtis Granderson leading off, David Wright in the 2-hole, then Daniel Murphy, the star of the clincher for the Mets. Yoenis Cespedes in the cleanup spot, then Travis d'Arnaud. Michael Kadire gets the start at first base. Lucas Duda has been struggling, and Kadire has seen a lot more of Lester. Wilmer Flores is the shortstop. Juan Lagares in center field. Matt Harvey does the pitching.
Oh, John Lester, number 34. We've seen that number a lot in the postseason. Signed to that big contract just for these kind of games.
Granderson hit .389 in the Dodgers series. 7 out of 18, knocked in 5 runs. Lester to the plate, and Granderson shortened as if to bunt. There's only one Cub on that side of the infield, and it's Javier Baez.
Even if you play shallow over there, if you bunt the ball down the line, that angle that you're taking to catch it is still very difficult for the person playing in the third base role over there.
It's like you're running away from first, and you have to try to throw it to first.
Now Baez backpedals with the count 1-2 on Granderson. Lester to the plate.
We were talking to Joe Madden before the game. He said he knows when Lester's on, when that low fastball has great carry on it. And all the hitters think it's going to be down. It ends up being on the knees. When it has great carry, that's when he has his best games.
Lester's 16th postseason game, his 14th start. And that was tapped up the middle, should be easy. And Granderson is thrown out. Matt Weiner also working the field tonight. Matty, what you got?
AJ, a carryover from the NLDS. Because the Cubs beat the Cardinals in 4 games, they're able to start by far their top 2 pitchers here in New York. You mentioned John Lester's experience. This is his 5th start in an LCS. And Joe Madden said about Lester pitching in a big game is always, quote, tasty. But as you mentioned, they won't have their regular starting shortstop, Addison Russell, in the lineup. He's been left off this roster because of the strained hamstring he suffered against the Cardinals. Talented but raw Javier Baez is the starter for this series, and his pros and cons were on display in that NLDS. He came in for Russell, immediately had a couple of shaky defensive moments, including an error, but responded in Game 4 with a 3-run homer in the clincher.
All right, thank you, Matt. And here's David Wright in the air to left, a long run, and Schwarber makes the catch. That ball was sinking fast. The big guy got there and then showed everybody that he caught it.
It was sinking because of lack of speed, Ernie. It was a jam job, and Wright thought he had a hit. Schwarber's made himself into a pretty good left fielder. Made a nice sliding catch here.
Schwarber's going to get a bill from the groundskeeper on that little dive.
Replace your divots.
They've asked a lot of this kid to move to different positions just to get that bat in the order.
Yeah, saw him start the wild card game, that basically a game 7 to start the playoff run. He was in right field. And he hit a ball that probably capsized 2 boats in the Allegheny. Daniel Murphy. Man, what a game 5 he had in Los Angeles. Hit the home run, had the heads-up base running play, which led to the sacrifice fly that tied the game, and then he later untied it. A ball and a strike. That ball's well hit to right. Did he get all of this one? Yes, he did. They have been waiting to erupt here at Citi Field, and Daniel Murphy just gave them reason to. Here's Cespedes.
Talk about some notches on your belt. Kershaw twice, Greinke once, and now John Lester.
What else? Who else you got? Bring them on.
I'd love to say he was sitting on that little breaking ball, but he's just seeing the ball so well, I think he just reacted to it.
He says, I like hitting in front of Cespedes.
4th home run of the postseason, 6th run batted in for Daniel Murphy, the longtime Mets second baseman. That's out of play. And certainly a lot of speculation, Ronnie, about the future for Daniel Murphy, that being a free agent, this could be it. They've got kids in the organization. And if it is indeed his last, man, is he making it memorable.
Well, maybe they had a chance to sign him before this has happened. Ka-ching every time he comes to the plate.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Cespedes. We mentioned the fact that all 7 of those Cub wins over the Mets came before this guy came. And what an impact he had. But here in the first, he is a strikeout victim. Daniel Murphy. Who else? 1-0 Mets. Well, we moved to the top half of the 2nd inning. I'll tell you what, you shake hands with that guy right now, Daniel Murphy, you get a 3rd-degree burn. Man alive. Mets did not homer in 3 games here against the Cubs in the regular season. They strike first here. Anthony Rizzo. Murphy wants it and squeezes it. Got some wind swirling here tonight at Citi Field. Run everything out.
That was a big league pop-up right there.
I always say the reason you call it a big league pop-up, it's high enough that it even makes big leaguers a little nervous.
Absolutely.
Well, you saw it on display there by Rizzo. The Cubs are a young, talented bunch. They are very aggressive at the plate. And if you've got your good stuff, you might get through some innings with a low pitch count.
He retired Bryant on the first pitch to end the first and gets Rizzo on the first pitch to start off the second.
Well, they're very aggressive, but they're very patient at the same time. They'll look for a good pitch to hit early in the count. If they usually run the count deep, they walk the most in the National League.
And they strike out the most. In fact, they struck out more than anybody in baseball. 1,518 times in the regular season. Shade over 9 a game. A ball and a strike to Castro. On the ground to third. David Wright throws across. 2 up, 2 down. Official caps, hoodies, jackets, and more. Celebrate with your favorite team at the MLB.com shop. It is definitely a hoodies and jackets and more night. That's for sure.
You know what's interesting, guys? In the last game, we saw Harvey pitch and kind of just get through those 5 innings. Did not have a good slider. He's thrown like almost a different version, a little cutter, both to Chris Bryant and then there to Castro.
Both those guys hit the ball at the end of the bat, which makes you not want to hit the rest of the night when it's cold.
Hoodies, jackets, and more. There you go. Soler is modeling the and more on this chilly night here in Queens. Caught the corner. 0-2.
Well, Soler's actually makes sense to me. He's got a turtleneck and a hat on with long sleeves. Cespedes didn't. He had short sleeves in the same coverage.
Steve Wright, 3 called. Another 1-2-3 inning for Matt Harvey. We head to the bottom of the second. Travis d'Arnaud leads it off, the Mets catcher, here in the bottom half of the second. The 1-0 from Lester. Little blooper. That's going to fall.
Well, Cal, if you're going to hit it off the end of your bat, make sure it's a hit.
Yeah, it feels a heck of a lot better when it lands in safely. Ball a little away from him. Had a good approach on it. Hit it right towards the end of the bat with enough carry to get it out in right center field.
Cubs and Mets played 3 of their 7 games here at Citi Field. Cubs won them all, and the Mets never had a lead in any of those 3 games. They lost 1-0, 2-0 in 11, and 6-1. They lead 1-0 here in the bottom half of the second. And here's Michael Kadire.
Kadire's in the lineup. Terry Collins telling us because of all of his experience in the American League against Lester.
Up the middle. And the only play will be to first. Oh, they called him out at second as well. That was some fancy footwork out there at second.
I think he was able to drag his foot back and hit the bag.
Javier Baez gloved it and did get the corner of the bag. Great play.
It's a great shot right there. You can see the bag move. Just wanted some sort of contact and the bag moved. He definitely got it.
6-3 on the double play. And here's Wilmer Flores.
It was a great play to be able to, all that traffic up the middle and get that ball right before it got to Castro. And maybe that outside of the foot just braced the bag.
Yeah, it looked like the heel caught the back of the bag. In the air to right and out of play.
And if you ask the people who watch the Cubs every day, losing Addison Russell was a tough loss. He was really playing fantastic baseball at shortstop. But Baez has so much potential, so much power. And we saw there a slick glove.
Two balls and a strike.
Yeah, I was curious when Joe Madden was talking about him. They said he can make all the great plays. Might even have a little better range than Addison Russell. But Addison Russell just makes every routine play as well as the great ones.
Fouled back by Flores, who was 3 for 10 in the series against the Dodgers. Tonight's Chevrolet pitch tracks, the Lester Arsenal.
Well, that breaking ball is usually that back foot slider he'll throw to right-handed hitters. That pitch right there.
And it missed. And the count full, 3-2.
Well, I think that was a little bit deceiving because he mixes in his fastballs and his cutters that sometimes are looked on as fastballs. I think the 15% might be the bigger breaking ball, the one we just saw. Because it seems like nothing he throws goes straight. Here's a backdoor cutter.
On the ground to third. Bryant to Rizzo. And that'll do it in the Mets half of the second. Double play ball was big for John Lester. We head to the third. And here is Baez leading off the third. Matt Harvey has sailed through the first 2 innings on 16 pitches, striking out 3. A ball and a strike. You heard Matt Weiner in his report talk about Baez and the big home run he hit in that Cardinal series after replacing Addison Russell. 21-year-old shortstop. Got a hamstring issue. And here it was in game 4. Oppo.
If you want to find something impressive, come out and watch him take batting practice. He has got all kinds of power all over the field.
Couple of bounces to short. Flores gets him by a half a step. Flores had to hurry. That ball had a couple of big hops in it, and he got him.
Got him by a half a step. It's a good internal clock by the shortstop, by Wilmer.
Now here's David Ross. Ross catching John Lester, as he often does in this one. And batting 8th. And that missed. A ball and no strikes.
It's nice to see that it's not only us that have a little gray in our beard. The veteran Ross.
It's his veteran presence on this team has meant so much. When you're a team loaded with 20-somethings, it's good to have a guy like Ross kind of settle the ship, loosen guys up.
It's like having an extra coach when you have David Ross on your ball club.
The 1-1 a little high, 2 balls and a strike.
That makes you a personal catcher, that stat right there.
Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ross, 38 years old. Broke in with the Dodgers, has been with the Pirates, the Padres, the Reds, the Red Sox a couple of times, the Braves, and the Cubs here in a playoff year of 2015. And this ball's hit pretty well down the line in left. Keep your eye on it. That is a foul ball.
That's one of those 2-strike changeups right here that is not as effective against a righty because it's coming into him. Almost a mistake that went for a home run.
Two. And he struck him out. Strikeout number 4 for Matt Harvey.
Again, he comes with that little slider, does Harvey, that stays right on that outside part of the plate and by Ross. He's tightened that pitch up for this game. Much more effective. Maybe the 4 days rest has put him in a better place.
John Lester takes a strike, 0-1.
He looks extremely sharp to me. Even the balls that are called balls seem like they're at the edge of the strike zone.
Been 8 up and 8 down. 4 strikeouts, and nobody's gotten the ball out of the infield off Matt Harvey. And here it comes. Strikeout number 5. Middle of the third. 1-0. Bottom half of the third. 8, 9, and 1 due for the Mets, who lead at 1-0. John Lester faces Juan Lagares, who takes outside low 1-0.
He had a quiet, nice series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. A couple of doubles, 3 hits, and 7 attempts.
Gold Glove center fielder a year ago.
Didn't have that kind of a year this year. In fact, was platooned late in the year once the Mets got Cespedes. He's had a occurring kind of elbow issue that has stopped him from being that super quality center fielder.
I'm still trying to spy that low carry in the strike zone that Madden talked about. I'm still trying to figure out Tasty for his description of Lester, too.
I mean, you never know. When you meet Joe Madden and have an exchange, we talked about expensive honey, dark chocolate, Twizzlers. I mean, those are the kind of conversations you have with Joe.
The more we talk, the more we had in common, I found. Especially on the Twizzler front.
That's right. Manuka honey, I think is what he's from New Zealand.
From New Zealand, yeah. Really good for you if you're a little under the weather or you're trying to take care of your throat. Tapped right back to Lester, and the underhand toss for out number 1.
Well, it's been a good start, of course, for Harvey. 5 strikeouts, first time through the order. That's because he came out of this game throwing all his pitches. Changeup gets Fowler, breaking ball gets Schwarber, paints the fastball, has a little cutter going also. It's interesting in these postseason games, sometimes the pitcher comes out and wants to just throw it as hard as he can, but Harvey has come out using all of his pitches.
I always liked, as a general philosophy, if a pitcher had good stuff, to establish all his pitches early in the game. Many times another philosophy would be, let's save a pitch, to the second time around. Let's not show him everything we have.
Fouled off, a ball and a strike. Harvey hit a home run this year. He knocked in 7 runs. 7 hits and 65 at bats. You can run into one. Takes a strike, 1 and 2.
Mets pitchers had 28 RBIs this year. That's the most in the National League. DeGrom and Syndergaard in the middle.
Noah Syndergaard will get the ball in game 2 for Terry Collins against Jake Arrieta. Be there. Curtis Granderson waiting on deck. To right field, right near the line, and Soler makes that catch on the line. Nice running catch by Jorge Soler. Had him shaded that way and able to make the play.
What makes it so difficult is that fence is very low. So once you make the catch, you've really got to stop yourself or you'll flip right over that little railing. Nice job by Soler.
I saw Bill Miller signaling that was a foul ball. Caught by Soler. 2 down. Curtis Granderson grounded out his first time. And the Cubs in that shift. And in this case, Chris Bryant, the third baseman, is in shallow right field. It's Castro, the second baseman, Rizzo at first, and the rookie Bryant in the hole. Three balls and no strikes.
Most every team in that shift now is moving the third baseman into that position. That way you keep the shortstop, who covers usually more ground than the third baseman, at that shortstop position.
Yeah, it keeps everybody in their more comfortable roles. Because once you make an extreme shift, there's other responsibilities that go along with that shift. You don't want to put the third baseman in a position to turn a double play, either from the second base side or the shortstop. He doesn't do that all the time. He catches ground balls and he throws them to a bag. So by putting him way over in the hole in the grass, he usually has a strong arm. And he's doing exactly from a different angle what he does at third.
After falling behind 3-0, Lester has run the comp full against Granderson. Granderson, a good hitter with 2 strikes. He's 6 for 11 in the NLDS against the Dodgers.
He's staying in so well in lefties. Doesn't let his front shoulder leak at all. Tries to keep it in there as long as he can to stay on the ball, cover the outside corner.
And Cal, once upon a time, that was one of those things when you looked at him and said, boy, he struggles against lefties. Kevin Long helped him out a lot when they were together with the New York Yankees. Kevin Long, now the hitting coach of the New York Mets, the cage rat. And he continues to help Granderson. Soft liner right at Baez. And that'll do it. In the third, we head to the fourth at Citi Field, 1-0. And Dexter Fowler leads it off. Top of the order here in the fourth.
I think if you're Matt Harvey or David Wright, got to be ready for an attempted bunt here by Fowler, try to get on base. David pinched in at third base.
Harvey with the 1-0. And count even. You may very well be aware of all the stuff surrounding Matt Harvey this year. Follow the Mets, obviously you are. If postseason baseball has you to the set for the first time this year. This is a guy who is coming back from Tommy John surgery. Didn't pitch in 2014. His agent, Scott Boras, saying that there was a 180-inning limit in that first year back. Said that was on the advice of the surgeon who performed the Tommy John surgery, Dr. James Andrews. Well, Sandy Alderson, the GM of the Mets, said he had been in contact with Dr. Andrews as well, and his report didn't exactly align with what Scott Boras had said. Boras, in fact, saying if you go over the limit, you're putting your pitcher in peril. For his part, Matt Harvey was saying, look, you're going to give me the ball, I'm going to give it all I got, I'm going to fight every time you give it to me. On the ground to right. One down here in the fourth. Moments ago, Sam Ryan spoke with Mets manager Terry Collins.
Terry, so far, Matt making it look easy out there. He had a battle through his last outing. What's the biggest difference you see?
Well, it's all command. I mean, you and I talked last week. One thing that he has to get is a consistent routine and coming back on regular rest. I think he's showing tonight that his command's back.
As far as Daniel Murphy, when he's seeing the ball as well as he is, and he had 14 home runs during the regular season, what have you noticed about his approach and his confidence of late?
Well, Sam, when he gets hot, he can hit anybody and at any time. And right now he's swinging great, and we just got to get some guys on ahead of him because I think he'll prove some runs for us.
Thanks a lot, Terry.
All right.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Terry. You saw the curveball fool Schwarber, and it's no balls and a strike. 0-2, and this is to put that Harvey story to bed. So he did pitch 189 in the third in the regular season, and then went 5 in his Game 3 start here against the Dodgers. And he gets the start here in Game 1. And there's a bullet up the middle. Hey, what a catch right there by Wilmer Flores. He went high. There was a lot of ball showing, but he came down with it.
Well, that was after Matt Harvey ducked. He thought that ball was right back at his head.
Well, look at the target. It's supposed to be up. Missed all the way down. And the ball was hit like a laser. Flores reacts really well. Almost tears a hole out of his glove. Just looks like he says, I do that every day. Don't worry about that.
Without question, the hardest hit ball by the Chicago Cubs as we play here in the fourth. Here's Chris Bryant. Bryant grounded out to second his first time.
I mean, what a year for the Cubbies. They might have the Rookie of the Year in Bryant, the Manager of the Year in Madden, Cy Young Award winner in Arrieta.
1 ball, 1 strike. I'll say this, if Chris Bryant isn't the Rookie of the Year, I will personally conduct the investigation.
Thank you.
Leads all rookies in on-base percentage, extra base hits, RBIs, runs scored, tied for first in homers, second in hits behind Matt Duffy. Oh, and by the way, he also stole 13 bags.
I mean, he was the talk all of baseball starting in mid-February.
Cubs looking for their first base runner. Up and in, and the count full.
Reached back for a little extra. Lost his mechanic for a minute. Still at 97 miles an hour right there.
In the process of this great season, broke the rookie home run record for the franchise held by Billy Williams. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Matt Harvey, the Dark Knight, in control. Citi Field in New York. Game 1 of the NLCS, and we move to the bottom half of the 4th inning. John Lester against David Wright.
David had a tough series against the Dodgers, but he made that hit count, driving in 2 runs in the first game.
Takes inside, a ball and a strike. Wright hit a sinking liner to left his first time, and Kyle Schwarber made a fine catch. 2-1.
He looks a little better to me right now. Got jammed on the first one, and sometimes it's okay to get jammed. You wait till it gets to you, so you don't pull off of it, stay on top of it.
Missed again, 3-1.
Yeah, all hitters do the same thing, don't they? They get in a slump, they want to work the middle of the field if they can.
There's that man again waiting in the on-deck circle. Daniel Murphy. The 3-1 to Wright. Leadoff walk in the 4th. Moments ago, Matt Weiner spoke with Cubs manager Joe Madden.
Joe, Matt Harvey appears to have the full arsenal tonight. What have you thought of your guys' approach so far?
Well, his command's been outrageous. That's a big part of it. His stuff's good, but the command is even better. We just have to stay with it and try to eventually get to him. But more than his stuff, it's his command.
Just like Game 1 of the NLDS, John Lester gave up a run in the first, 0 since. What have you thought of him so far?
Good, very good, actually. Outside of the home run, nothing's been hit really hard. I thought his command's been good from here also. Good carry on the pitches. He looks good also.
Thanks, Joe.
My pleasure, buddy. Thanks.
That home run that Joe Madden refers to coming off the bat of the guy at the plate right now, Daniel Murphy. His 4th of the postseason. And it came with nobody on and 2 out in the first.
Well, it's been well documented that John Lester does not like to throw the baseball, especially when a guy is on first. But the Mets don't have any team speed to speak of. So, doubt if they'll be able to take advantage of that.
David Ross did a good job to keep that ball in front and keep right at first. 2014, he did not throw over to first. This season, 4 times. There were 2 errors and 2 pickoffs.
But he's done a little better job as the season wore on. 83% success rate, stolen bases earlier in the season. Later, that dropped down to 63%.
The 1-2 with right on the move. Here's the throw by Ross. He is safe. Ball bounces away from Baez.
Looking at real speed, it didn't seem like he got the best of jumps. And that's the advantage you have with Lester is he can't throw the ball to first base, so you can go a little earlier. But just beats the ball to second base, steals it outright.
So with nobody out in the bottom of the 4th, a runner in scoring position for the Mets. And Murphy at the plate.
Daniel Murphy leads the world in talking to the home plate umpire when he's at bat.
3-2 in an official stat, Ron. He is the toughest guy to strike out in the regular season. Struck out 3 times in the Dodgers series. Cespedes on deck. Here comes the 3-2. And he got him. Let's take a look at tonight's MLB Memory Bank presented by Bank of America. This was the home run in Game 3 that Yoenis Cespedes hit into the second deck. The bat flip nearly went there, too. There was no Joey Bats, but it wasn't bad. And you can share your favorite baseball memories all season long using hashtag MLB Memory Bank. So Wright still the runner at second after the walk and the stolen base. And here's Cespedes, who struck out his first time.
You can see the jersey of Lester. Lots of wind on the field. It'll definitely affect both pitchers.
In tight, 2-0.
And Lester looked like he landed wrong and almost fell down after that pitch.
So tell me, the wind, how does the wind affect the pitchers?
It's just, it makes your fingers, makes the ball feel very slick. Sometimes tough to control. Almost like he turned his ankle a little there, John.
Breaking pitch over, 2 balls and a strike. The big league pitch.
Oh, this is what makes Lester so tough. Can just flip up a curveball when he's behind the count.
Right with a lead at second. 2-2.
Now that's the pitch that looks like it has some low carry on it. Looks like it's definitely going to be low. Seems like it just stays at the same height.
See both of his home runs in the series against the Dodgers coming on this count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jon Lester.
Definitely the book on Cespedes is when you get 2 strikes and you got a fastball, let's raise the fastball up in the strike zone a little bit. This one's in the top edge of the strike zone. Ross was given a higher target. He hit it perfectly.
Travis d'Arnaud did not hit his ball perfectly his first time up. Blooper into right. He was erased in a double play. He bats now with Wright out there at second. 2 down.
It's interesting, you look at the outfield. Soler, the right fielder, playing awfully shallow. d'Arnaud has great gap power to right center. It's almost where you play pitchers.
Count even, a ball and a strike.
Puts him in a better position to throw a runner out at home plate, which we know he has a really good arm. Made a big throw in the Cardinals series.
Did he ever? The Cardinals about to take the lead in Game 4, and he threw out Tony Cruz at the plate. Kept the game tied, and then the Cubs used the long ball to put Game 4 away. Here comes the 1-1. Another little blooper. Who wants it? Soler darn near overran that thing, but made the play. 4 innings in the books. 1-0 in Game 1. Cool, crisp New York night. Game 1 of the National League Championship Series here on TBS, and we are zipping right along into the 5th. Matt Harvey and the Mets on top, 1-0. And here's Anthony Rizzo, who cuts through the curveball, 0-1.
It's interesting. The first time up, he tried to ambush him on a fastball, hit the big league pop-up. Didn't change his mindset. He was going to go after the fastball again, but Matt Harvey changed the pitch to a curveball. So if you're Rizzo, what are you looking for now?
He takes the 93-mile-an-hour fastball, 0-2.
See him shake his head like first pitch curveball, nasty fastball on the knees.
Coming back inside with a fastball. Oh.
And he plunked him with an 0-2. First base runner of the night for the Chicago Cubs.
Rizzo needs time. That caught him pretty good. He stands right on the dish. If you're going to come inside, you better not be off the plate inside because it's going to hit him.
Well, maybe it's for effect to try to set up the next pitch. He's not going to swing at the ball up and in, and the target clearly was up. Trying to back him off, maybe set him up for a changeup away.
He got hit 30 times in the regular season, the most in baseball. And he has a lead at first. Hit on the button to center field. Lagares is back, and it's over his head. Castro's going to have extra bases. They are going to wave Rizzo. The throw to the plate is high and late, and the game is tied.
Well, that's a case of the swirling winds. Got Lagares right there. He misjudged that ball right off the bat and never could recover.
He put a charge in this one, though. Good backspin on it. Carries over Lagares' head.
Well, the Cubs had not had a base runner coming into the 5th. That changed with the hit batsman. They had not had a hit. That changes with the Castro double, and now they're on the board, and it's a 1-1 game.
It's amazing how fast things can change. You have the count up on Rizzo. You decide to come up and in, you hit him, and the next thing you know, the game's tied. That's how explosive this Cubs team can be.
Castro with his lead at second. Here's Jorge Soler. Soler took a called third strike his first time. One of 6 strikeouts for Matt Harvey. In the dirt, backhanded by d'Arnaud.
Caught that right in the tricep.
In not so many words, he said that's going to leave a mark.
That's all a good one.
A ball and a strike to Soler. Waved at another one. A ball and 2 strikes.
It's funny how a hit by pitch or a leadoff walk turns quickly into a run.
Heard it said before, everything's a rally in postseason baseball. And we've seen it here in the top half of the 5th. On the ground to third, right. Throws across for out number 1. He chased Castro back to the bag at second and made the play.
Did some good breaking balls to Soler that time. Hung one to Castro. Got it back really quickly, made some nice pitches. Got the out without allowing Castro to advance to third.
Here's Javier Baez. Well hit, base hit into left field. Castro's around third. They're going to wave it. Here's the throw to the plate. He is out at the plate. Cespedes to d'Arnaud. The game's still tied.
You just can't run on Cespedes. Last 4 seasons, 48 assists.
Comes in, catches it clean, throws on the right timing, and the ball just beats him by a mile to home plate.
You're down near the bottom of the lineup. I don't think that's a bad play by third base coach Gary Jones. You don't get that many opportunities off these good pitchers.
All Rob Drake had to do behind the plate was make sure the ball was held on to, and it was. David Ross with a big cut, 0-1.
Let's see Castro with that right hand come down on the glove of d'Arnaud, trying to jar it loose.
There goes Baez. There's the throw into center field. Baez is going for third, and he's going to make it.
d'Arnaud throws from his knee and puts some air underneath it.
Murphy tried to deke Baez, but he was not going to have any of it.
And Lagares didn't feel the bad throw cleanly in center field. There was no play at third. And now they will put David Ross on and pitch to John Lester.
That's all because of the hustle by Baez to get in scoring position. Lester's been challenged as a hitter.
Chicago definitely just doesn't sit back and wait. for the long ball. They hit a lot of long balls and they hit a lot of home runs, but they do have a pretty healthy stolen base game.
Well, after getting absolutely nothing off Matt Harvey in the first 4 innings, here in the 5th, Rizzo hit by an 0-2 pitch. Castro with a double. That tied the game. After a ground out by Soler, Baez with a single. What a great throw by Cespedes. Cut down the runner. There's a strike to Lester.
It almost seems like Harvey went to his off-speed stuff, his slider, when he got in trouble.
Go-ahead run 90 feet away for the Cubs. And Lester behind in the count, 0-2.
Forgets he still has that 95 that you want to mix in. And the slider, if the slider doesn't break to the perfect location, becomes a little slower fastball.
In his career at the plate, Lester was 1 for his first 90. He's 3 for his last 16, so the odds are a little better. But he strikes out to end the inning. But the Chicago Cubs tie it up. Starlin Castro on a ball that just kept on carrying. It's tied at 1.
So when the wind's blowing like this, Ronnie, does that affect the carrying of the ball?
I think sometimes it does, especially when it is gusting like it is here in Flushing tonight. Get a little backspin on that ball from Castro, and it just kept carrying over Lagares' head.
Well, Michael Kadire leads it off for the Mets in what is now a tie game, 1 apiece. Lester to the plate. And the count even, a ball and a strike.
The old ballpark here, Shea Stadium, the swirling winds was always an issue. This one more closed. Not as bad as the old Shea.
Well, with the big stadiums, there are some areas that come in that it swirls around and actually then makes it carry to left. And you look at the flag and it says, well, it's blowing in from left. But the wind will swirl and actually have the opposite effect. I would imagine it doesn't carry real good to center right now. The high fly ball.
And Kadire takes a called third strike from Lester. 1 down here in the 5th. Our producer Scott Cockrell just always in a great mood every October because it's Chevy Truck Month. Time to make a strong decision like choosing a Chevy Silverado. Chevrolet proud to be the official vehicle of Major League Baseball. So I'm giving our director Matt Lipp a ride in the Silverado the other day. The camaraderie on our crew. Well hit to left, base hit by Wilmer Flores.
This looks like a get-me-over curveball just for a strike. And Flores sees it pretty well, stays back on it enough. It's a little lazy line drive.
You know what's interesting is that Bryant was playing even with the bag, almost in. No need to with Flores, who never bunts.
There's Lagares. He tapped back to Lester his first time. And the breaking pitch not quite in the back door. 1-0.
Lester threw that pitch. He stopped. Couldn't understand why Rob Drake did not call it a strike. Ross turned around and addressed Drake.
On the ground, into left field, base hit. Just out of the reach of Chris Bryant.
Looks like a cutter tended to be the outside, catches a little too much of the plate. Tops it in the hole. Just out of the reach of a diving Bryant.
Well, this has been an issue for Matt Harvey all year. Only one sacrifice bunt. He's had trouble bunting all year. And Rizzo, the first baseman, that's about as aggressive as you can play.
It's about to shake hands with him.
Clearly, you need to bunt this from the third. Make the third baseman come in and field it.
Bunts it foul at the plate, 0-1.
Sometimes it's hard to correct, but when you watch Matt bunt, he stabs at the baseball. If you stab at it, that's why he's having a tough year bunting. Got to really catch the ball with the bat. That's what it should feel like.
I always describe it when I'm teaching it to young kids. Let it hit the bat. Just let it hit the bat. Now, when you get really good at it, you can start to give with it, which deadens it a little bit. But just put it out there and let the ball hit the bat. And just angle the bat where you can guide it where you want it to go.
Well, he pulled the bat back. Tried the old butcher boy. 0-2.
Well, really what you want to do if you're Harvey is you just want to bunt this ball to the right of Lester. Make him make the play. Let him think about throwing the ball.
He gets that one down. The throw to third. They're going to rule him out. They're going to say that in the transition from getting the ball out of the glove, Bryant dropped it after the force.
That's how I saw it as well. It looked like on the transfer. Caught it, and then on the transfer, he loses it and drops the ball. He closes his glove all the way around the ball and then reaches back in.
Well, they were trying for a double play at first base, and they would have had it if he didn't lose the exchange. Well, now we know why Rizzo plays so far in. He takes that ball that goes back to the pitcher. He takes it himself. Takes Lester out of the play.
Same situation now, runners at first and second, but with two down for Curtis Granderson, top of the Mets order. Breaking pitch over 0-1.
Comes over in plenty of time. Starts really shy. That's why you have to be able to direct the bunt towards the third base side. Take the first baseman. Take Rizzo totally out of that play.
Lagares, the runner at second. Fouled straight back by Granderson. All 5 of his runs batted in this postseason coming against left-handed pitching. He's 0 for 2 against Lester tonight. Ground out to second. And a soft liner to short. Lester with the 0-2. Into center field. That ball is going to drop, and it's going to break the tie. Curtis Granderson. A 2-out RBI single to center. And the Mets lead it 2-1.
Lagares with a good jump. No play at home.
Curtis caught that off the end of the bat, so just really dunked it in front of Dexter Fowler. The inability of the Cubs to turn that double play on the bunt cost them with two outs.
Not only was that his 6th RBI against left-handed pitching, his 7th 2-strike hit in this postseason.
Yeah, big play. Bryant not being able to complete that double play. When you do grab it with one hand and try to put the hand in the glove, It's much easier to use two hands on the transfer. That's when the shortstop or the second baseman has the hand right next to it. As a third baseman, you got a bigger glove. You might take the shore out catching the glove, and then it's hard to find the ball sometimes on a double play.
Here's David Wright.
He hasn't hit, but he's contributed with some key walks. He looks a little bit more hitterish tonight. Looks like he's starting to find his swing a little bit.
Two and 0. Harvey is the runner at second. Granderson at first.
Usually you don't say this, but you'd have to say you got to give Wright a pitch to hit. You got to go be aggressive with Murphy on deck.
Got one he liked and fouled it right over there at the Cubs dugout.
Well, it almost seems like the best pitchers in the league, they never give in.
Yeah, that's right.
You look at Kershaw, you look at Greinke. Greinke especially lives on the outer edge. Lester does not want to give in, even though you have a hot hitter at the plate. It almost seems like he'll take his chances to make a good pitch then.
Nibbled and missed. 3-1. Another bad one brings Daniel Murphy to the plate. He homered his first time.
2-0, he came with that little cutter in. Will he do it again?
Yes.
They're going to throw back.
No. I mean, no. How about that pitch for a pitch call right there? A slower curveball to get over on a 3-1 count.
Ross is peeved, though, that Castro never came in to cover second base on that throw.
Thought they had Wright wandering off the bag. Or Harvey at second. Right at the plate, waiting on a 3-2. Strike three called. And John Lester pumped up as he walks off the mound here at Citi Field. But he gave up this to Curtis Granderson and gave up the lead. It's 2-1 New York Mets. It's the Art of Performance presented by Jaguar. In the American League Championship Series, the Royals shut out Toronto in the opener and then used a big comeback in Game 2 to take a 2-0 lead in that series. 5 runs in the 7th. Dexter Fowler leading it off for the Cubs here in the 6th. And he's ahead in the count 2-0 against Matt Harvey.
That Kansas City team is amazing, isn't it? They just never feel like they're out of it.
They play with a confidence in the playoffs that all of them earned last year.
Interesting, too, Cal, I'm sorry, but when John Lester, when the Cubs were trying to sell John Lester on becoming a member of their team, a line drive off of Harvey, who gathers and throws him out. Harvey's saying, I don't need anything, go back in the dugout, but they're going to come and check.
I love that. He gets hit hard, solidly, stays in front of him, makes the play.
I thought it caught him right in the back of the right shoulder. Let's see. Yeah, right on the right shoulder.
And then right off his back on the carom.
Shoulder or lat, either one. That might swell and become a problem throwing.
Look at the action this ball had on it, too, when it hit the ground and gave you a little backspin. And he's able to make the play.
That's 2 balls now that have been hit right back through the box. Schwarber that was right to Flores, went right over the head of Harvey, and this one caught him, and he gets another out of it.
Harvey getting some Beagle love out of the Citi Field sellout crowd here. I was talking about John Lester and the sales pitch the Cubs were making, and one of the things that Theo Epstein told him, he said, look, we're going to be a very young team in 2015. He said, but if things break our way, we have a chance to be the Royals.
It's a good sell.
And John Lester liked the sound of that.
Because of their past history and knowing each other from Boston, of course, you know, you as Lester are going to believe that coming out of Theo Epstein's mouth.
Little nubber off the end of the bat. Harvey makes another play. He threw out Schwarber.
Missed the ball, hit right off the end of the bat, cued in a perfect bunt situation. But Harvey jumps off and makes a nice play. Barehands it, makes an accurate throw to first. He got off the mound pretty good.
Yes, he did. It's Mets' young pitching staff, good athletes also.
Oh, here's Chris Bryant. Ground out and a strikeout. Watch the first pitch. He takes it this time, 0-1. Harvey was perfect through 4 in this game. Cubs got to him in the 5th. He hit Rizzo, who eventually came around to score.
Bryant hit his first Wrigley Field home run against the Mets early in the season. Stopping the action as we see the ball boy running down the first base line. Addison Reed up in the bullpen just in case there's some repercussions from Harvey getting hit with that comebacker.
The 2-1 is lined into the glove of Flores at short. It was a 3-up, 3-down inning, but not exactly an easy one when you take a liner. That's what Harvey did. Daniel Murphy has been that guy. He was in the series against the Dodgers, and he homered in his first at-bat tonight with 2 outs in the first, giving him 4 home runs and 6 runs batted in. He leads it off in the bottom of the 6th against John Lester in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. After the homer, he struck out in the 4th.
Might have expanded the zone. Wanted to get a pitch to hit. He swung at a cutter outside the strike zone.
In the air, shallow left. Long run and a nice play by Baez. Right in front of a sliding Kyle Schwarber.
Really nice play, and he calls him off. He's got a good shot at it. But with all the noise, I don't think it could fully be heard. But he had a good track on it. Man, that could have been dangerous right there.
And a lot of times, Cal, I would assume, you've been there obviously, but even in a loud crowd, if you're going to say that hand gestures are going to be more important than yelling, Schwarber had his eyes on that ball. I don't know if he ever saw that the shortstop Baez was waving him off.
And normally I always had a agreement with the outfielder. If you're playing a little shallower and you think you have a shot for it, nice play.
How about that by Anthony Rizzo, who leans into the first or second row over there to make the play.
How about the back-to-back defensive plays by the Cubs?
Flashing the leather. Gets over to the rail. Knows when to lean in.
Gives
Nice
the security guy a little forearm shiver.
Getting back on who should call it, I always wanted to go back and not call it and just listen for the left fielder to call it. And if there was any question, it's a judgment where he has to sort of make a play whether who has the best chance to get it. And the left fielder always had a better angle coming in, just like the shortstop has a better angle going behind the third baseman.
Back-to-back great plays behind Lester here in the sixth. Baez and Rizzo. Oh, 2 down for d'Arnaud.
He's tracking the ball all the way in the air. There's no way he can see a hand gesture. Again, getting to understand who's in left field when you go back, it's much easier coming in to make that play than it is to go back. And I always wanted the left fielder to help me make that judgment. You make the judgment. If you think you got a shot at it, then call early. Otherwise, I'm going to go catch it.
Lester nearing the 90 pitch mark. Here comes number 89. And it's 3-1 to d'Arnaud. Michael Kadire waiting on deck, getting the start at first base in place of Lucas Duda tonight. That's in the air to center field. Fowler goes back. That ball is gone. Travis d'Arnaud with a bomb to straightaway center. He hit the apple. Wow.
That ball was crushed. I was looking for this ball to hit the track, and it just kept carrying right into the apple.
d'Arnaud makes like skee ball, 50 points.
An apple a day makes it a 3-1 game.
d'Arnaud, pound for pound on this ball club, as much power as anybody.
Amazing how that happens, huh? Insert one baseball. Here comes the apple.
Chris Bosio out there, the pitching coach, just to kind of circle the wagons, get Lester relaxed. Talk a little bit about the hitter.
And covering his mouth so no one can read the lips.
Right.
So d'Arnaud, who homered here in Game 3 in that 13-7 win over the Dodgers, makes it a 3-1 game, going straight away center field.
Well, we talked in the open that the Mets pitchers at some point had to keep the Cubs hitters in the ballpark. It's the Mets hitters who had the 2 home runs.
Murphy and d'Arnaud. And there's a base hit to right. Kadire went the other way.
After the called strikeout last time, you can always tell the hitter wants to go up there and swing at the first available pitch he can hit. Drives this one right into right field.
StatCast presented by Amazon Web Services.
And that makes sense to me. 107 miles an hour off the bat.
The 431 makes sense too. Straightaway center over the 408 sign and into the apple. To left field, and that ball is deep, but it's going to hang up. Schwarber is there. But the New York Mets, with a long ball from Travis d'Arnaud, make it a 3-1 game in Game 1. Top half of the 7th inning in Game 1 of the National League Championship Series, and Anthony Rizzo takes high and away from Matt Harvey, who's back out there. Took that line drive in the right shoulder, the right side of his back area in the last inning. Saw Lucas Duda, who has checked in at first base for the Mets.
Now, if he did get hit and tighten up, where would it show? Velocity, control?
Control more than velocity.
Ball and a strike. Took something off and missed. 2 balls and a strike. Rizzo, who was hit by more pitches than anybody in baseball, was hit in the 5th. Came around to score on a double by Starlin Castro. At that point, it tied the game. And Harvey misses again, 3-1. Rizzo, a 31 home run, 101 RBI season. Second straight year to crack the 30-homer plateau. And he leads off the 7th with a walk. Share your play ball moments on Twitter and Instagram using hashtag #playball for a chance to have them appear on MLB's social channels.
Most of those pitches up in the strike zone, Cal. Up and out of the strike zone. That's pitching coach Dan Warthen on the phone for the Mets.
So what's Terry Collins thinking? How long does he go here?
Castro doubled in Rizzo his last time and takes that down low, 1-0.
Addison Reed has been throwing for a long time, so he's loose. He got up as soon as Harvey was drilled with that comebacker. He's been up ever since.
That's over for a strike. Count even.
So the most talked about pitcher in his innings limit, now out there for the 7th in his second postseason start after getting drilled in the arm with a comebacker.
He's pitching with a 3-1 lead and a snap throw over. Rizzo back.
But he's been able to keep his pitch count down, only this will be his 79th.
That's Rizzo at first. We await a 1-1 to Castro. Liner to second. Throw back. Safe. It came out of Duda's.
The ball hit Rizzo on the hand sliding back in. His left hand went up in the air as he slid back in.
He gets drilled in the tricep, and then on the throw from Murphy, hits him again.
He was doubled up if it didn't hit him.
Hit him right in that left hand.
Wow, and on a night like this, that has got to sting. You see Murphy with the throw back, Duda waiting for the throw, and it never got to the glove.
And that's fortunate there. Another line drive hit by Castro.
Oh, look at Terry Collins, that close to a double play.
That would have helped out the pressure a lot. Taking all the pressure off.
Rizzo's as tough as they get.
So they've taken a look at Rizzo, and he's going to stay in the game. Saw Brandon Hyde, the Cubs first base coach, with a word for Rizzo. And you saw Bartolo Colon, who is up and loosening now for the Mets. Rizzo still at first, 1 out. And here's Soler.
You can tell Harvey in this inning leaking a little oil in the 7th. Pitches not as sharp as they were earlier in the game.
Falling behind in the count. Trying to hit that outside corner with the fastball. Doesn't have the same control he had early.
Soler's 0 for 2, but he represents the tying run here in the 7th. On the corner. 2-1.
Gets the call from Rob Drake. Soler thought this ball was down and away. Maybe stolen there by Darno.
The 2-1. Right back to the mound and off the glove of Harvey. The throw to first is late, and they're at first and second.
Boy, that's one of those not hit sharply. If you let it go, it's a double play, but you don't know that it's a pitcher.
No, reaction right back to you. It's off the end of the bat. Had a little spin to it. In a good position to catch that one. Just didn't.
Flores with the bare hand. Throw just a hair late. They're at first and second.
Sometimes when it's hit off the end of the bat, it's almost like a changeup back to the pitcher.
It's an infield hit for Soler. 2 on with 1 out here in the 7th.
Soler got down the line pretty good on that. Yeah. Flores made a nice play. Barehanding it, throwing on the run.
Well, this is where this Cubs talented young lineup makes you very vulnerable. Because Harvey's obviously not throwing as well as he was early in the game. And everyone in this lineup's got pop, including Baez up now.
Hit a slider last time for a base hit to left.
He's 1 for 2. Rizzo at second. Soler at first. That's Tommy LaStella, who would pinch hit for David Ross.
Well, the velocity was down 93 prior to that pitch right there. Back up to 95. Getting ahead.
The 0-1. And Harvey jumps ahead. 0-2.
Two really great fastballs. Had a little comeback action to the outside corner at 95.
Not turning a double play by the Cubs hurt them in the 5th. The Mets had 2 chances for double plays in this inning. Will it hurt them?
Struck him out. 3 pitches to Baez.
Well, that's as good as you're going to see. 3 pitches there. 2 right on the black in the final 4. Seamer with a little hop to it.
96 with a little hop.
Travis Wood up in the pen for the Chicago Cubs. Left-hander who was in the rotation at the beginning of the year and then sent to the bullpen.
John Lester in the on-deck circle. LaStella is hitting for David Ross, the catcher, so we'll see Montero into the game for Chicago.
Joe Madden talked about LaStella before the game, said he's one of those guys he likes to put up against the hard throwers. He's got a short stroke.
6 for 14 as a pinch hitter. Nice success off the bench.
First pitch swinging, 0-1. Joe Madden likes the way LaStella battles at the plate. He started that wild card game in Pittsburgh at third. Harvey taking some time, and LaStella stepping out, then time called by the home plate umpire, Rob Drake.
Well, LaStella's never faced Harvey, so only knows him from video.
Rizzo and Soler, the runners. No balls and 2 strikes.
He's really bared down the last 2 hitters here. Fastballs come up, commands come back.
Checked his swing. A ball and 2 strikes.
I think he never lost control of the bat. Hard slider down and in. Good check swing.
The 1-2. Sailed outside. Count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, hard to tell. I think he was trying to throw a curveball here, and it never broke. Just kind of slipped out of his hand. Good play by Darno.
He struck him out, and a fist pump from Harvey as he walks back to the Mets dugout with the lead preserved. Miguel Montero into the game behind the plate for the Chicago Cubs after David Ross was pinch hit for, and Tommy LaStella in at second base. Castro, who was at second, moves to short. So Baez is out. And Juan Lagares will lead it off in the bottom half of the 7th inning. That was a festive 7th inning stretch for the Mets faithful here at Citi Field. Cold night, good to get up, jump around.
Terry Collins stuck with him. Got him through that.
Lagares will occasionally try to bunt, so you got to be alert if you're the Cubbies.
Takes a strike from John Lester. Well, Matt Harvey does have a bat in the on-deck circle.
Well. Pitch count low. I almost assumed that he was done after 7.
Lester to the plate. That ball was hammered down the line and left, but foul.
There's a cutter that doesn't quite get all the way in. Problem with that is that it's hard to keep that one fair.
The 1-2. Didn't mean to, and fouled it off the screen. Lagares with a single in the 5th inning. Came around to score on a 2-out RBI by Curtis Granderson. That broke the 1-1 tie, and then Travis d'Arnaud with a laser into the New York night. Straightaway center field to make it 3-1. Blooper that's going to get down for a base hit.
Hits that one right off the end of the bat. Well placed in left center field.
Justin Grimm is the right-hander. Clayton Richard, the lefty. Here's Harvey. Wants to bunt. Took it high and away.
Now Harvey can bunt this one toward the right side. Rizzo has to stay back at first. He's not nearly as close. Bryant's much closer. So the place to bunt this one is to the first base side.
Gets this one down. Lester with the flip to first. Sacrifice accomplished by Harvey.
Well done.
Well, we saw it before. Lester doesn't like to throw it. The underhand toss is his way of getting it to first.
Little Matt Harvey bat flip on the way to first on the successful sacrifice.
Told you, only had one sacrifice all season, so he's so happy to get it down.
Now here's Granderson. Knocked in the second run for the Mets in the 6th.
He's been a clutch RBI guy.
Oh, for pitchers, getting a bunt down is worthy of a bat flip.
Granderson Ribby came in the 5th. The home run by d'Arnaud came in the 6th. We play in the 7th.
No one thrown in that Mets bullpen. I'm as surprised as you guys that Harvey looks like he might go out there for the 8th.
Saul Lagares with his lead at second. In the dirt, Montero blocked it.
I find it really interesting that maybe the Mets and Terry Collins was protective of his young guys in his innings early on. Now you get to the playoffs and say, okay, now I'm going to ride you. We need you to go deep into the ball game.
And deep into the series as he starts game 1. Runner going. Throw to third. Late. How about Juan Lagares swiping third?
Well, he and Granderson really the only threats on stealing bases. We saw Wright earlier in the game, but no one really holding Lagares close at second base. Not a good job done by the Cubs. And Lagares takes advantage of it.
Now a fly ball of any depth scores a run. Cubs bring the infield into the edge of the grass.
And why is that important? Granderson has driven in the run from third with less than 2 out 88% of the time. 88% of the time.
Put that in perspective, around baseball, it's around 54, 55% of the time. So, great numbers for Curtis. Remember in this shift also, with all the infielders on the right side, in his second at bat, Curtis lined the ball right at the shortstop position. No one at that position with this shift.
Three balls, two strikes. In the air to left. Schwarber with the catch. Here comes the throw to the plate. He is safe. The throw on the money, but Lagares beat the rap. And it's 4-1 New York.
%88 and rising.
He gets rid of it fairly quickly. One hopper. It was kind of an in-between hop where Montero had to go back to make sure he caught the ball, which he caught it behind the plate, and then brings it back to the plate, not in time.
They're going to appeal at third in hopes that he left early, but as you could see by the first replay we showed you, he waited.
So he got in position to get the big hop, but it took him out of position to make the tag.
Joe Madden makes his way to the mound with that stocking cap on, and he will take out John Lester, who works into the seventh inning. Another look. The slide, the tag a hair late. The lead is 4-1. End of the night for John Lester after 6 2/3. Allowing 4 earned runs, struck out 5, walked a batter. And he gives way to Justin Grimm.
Well, the Chicago bullpen got better and better as the season went along. Justin Grimm in his 62 appearances, that's a career high or low with that ERA of 1.99. Good fastball, straight over 12-6 curveball featured by Grimm.
A lot of rotation on that curveball.
David Wright is 0 for 2. Did walk in the fourth and steal a base. Breaking pitch had him fooled. He turned away from it, and it settled into Montero's mitt for a called strike. 1-1. Cubs bullpen this postseason, 21 strikeouts, 1 walk. And Grimm ahead, 1-2.
Fastball just over 50% of the time. He loves his breaking ball. It's a good one. I'd like it too.
Grimm out of the University of Georgia in 2010. Debuted with the Rangers, 2012. Appeared in 62 games in the regular season. Here's the 2-2 to right. That missed. Count full.
He likes his breaking ball, but he can't be throwing it here. Can he?
I think he can. But they opt for the fastball away.
Grounded up toward first, and Rizzo makes the play. But the New York Mets add to the lead. We head to the 8th. It's 4-1. Matt Harvey back out there in the 8th, pitching with a 4-1 lead here in Game 1. And Chris Coughlin will pinch hit to lead it off.
It's almost like when he ended that 7th, he reached back for a little extra to end that inning with a couple of strikeouts. Will he have anything left here in the 8th?
Coughlin in the air, left center field. Lagares makes the play for the first out. Got this engine room of the Chicago Cubs to get through one more time. Top of the order with Fowler, and then Schwarber and Bryant and Rizzo.
On the left, Familia. On the right, Clippard.
Cubbies hitting 10 home runs in the series against the St. Louis Cardinals. Haven't gone deep here in game one. 1 run in the 5th inning. Breaking pitch. Fowler took it. 0-1. The lone Chicago run tonight. A run-scoring double by Starlin Castro. Scoring Anthony Rizzo, who'd been hit by a pitch. Shallow left. Flores gives way to Cespedes for the 2nd out. Stay tuned after the game for the postseason show on TBS presented by the Lincoln Motor Company. Our guys have their set out there in right center field. You know, Dusty's out there, and Chef and Pedro and Casey Stern. And let me just say, it's not the warmest place in the world to be, but those guys, nothing's going to stop them. Listen to this crowd, will you? We talked about that pitch count and all that, and Scott Boras, his agent, and Scott Boras saying, look, he gave his arm to this team 2 years ago. That was one of the most recent quotes. Hit to right and hit pretty well. Hit really well, and that ball is gone. Kyle Schwarber with his 4th postseason home run, and he makes it a 2-run game.
Boy, this young man just does not miss any mistakes. The crowd comes alive at Murphy's bleachers.
So Harvey pitches into the 8th, gets the first 2, but that's going to be it, and they will roar here at Citi Field. And here's Chris Bryant. Familia is in.
Familia faced 16 Dodgers, retired all 16 in the division series. He's got to get 4 tonight.
.95 on that fastball, and he jumps ahead 0-2.
He likes the quick pitcher every once in a while, so you got to be ready if you're a hitter.
In tight, almost hit him.
Two-seamer that's running all the way in there, about 95.
A 1-2. Stayed down low, count even.
This year, Familia had 3 4-out saves.
The other night in Game 5, he got the last 6 outs to nail it down against the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine.
Good at bat by Chris Bryant.
0-2 to 3-2.
Base runner would bring the tying run to the plate here in the 8th, and it's Anthony Rizzo waiting on deck.
makes these Cubbies teams so hard to face. A walk or a bloop, they always have someone coming up who can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Payoff pitch from Familia. And the battle continues with the rookie Bryant.
Familia broke his bat with that pitch inside.
Familia appearing in all but one game in that Dodger series. 5 1/3. As Ron pointed out, retired everybody he's faced with 3 strikeouts. Here we go again with a 3-2. And Bryant draws the 2-out walk and brings the tying run to the plate here in the 8th.
That was good at bat by Bryant. Laid off some real tough pitches.
And fouled off a couple other tough ones to earn that walk.
They'll walk and they'll hit the ball out of the ballpark.
They're saying the home run by Schwarber was 459. Longest of the postseason so far. Here's Rizzo. On the ground to short. Flores throws him out. Familia comes on, gives up the walk, but then gets the bounce out. But the Cubs, with Schwarber going deep, cut it to 4-2. Murphy, high chopper, tough play. He is out. I gotcha, Iron Man. Pal saw it one way from here. It was close. LaStella.
I was just thinking, as magic as his bat's been, it was going to be one of those hits, but it looks like he got him.
He just...
Maybe.
Well, let's take another gander at that. That's what Terry Collins is saying.
Ooh. What do you got, Ronnie? Out or safe?
Well, because he called him out, I think there's not enough evidence to turn it another way. I mean, it really looked like a bang-bang tie goes to the runner kind of play.
It's kind of the second play we've seen where it appeared that a flip would beat a runner easily, and it doesn't always happen that way. We had a challenge and an overturn in the other series. That's tight.
I think LaStella was far enough away to have to put a little more on that ball with a sidearm throw. That's all goes back to where the ball is in the glove. It's touching the back of the leather.
Yeah, because that angle right there is a little deceiving.
Yeah.
You can't see when it's in the back of the leather.
The umpire on the right is Ted Barrett, who's the crew chief.
I think this will be pretty quick. It's either clear and convincing or not, in my opinion.
Ted Barrett, by the way, with one of the more distinguished bios among the umpiring crews. I don't know if you can overturn that.
From that angle right there, he's out.
Yep. And Barrett confirms it. Ted Barrett is an amateur boxer and an ordained minister, which means he could probably beat the devil out of him. Well, Joe Madden in his winter gear back out on the mound, and that'll be it for Clayton Richard. Trevor Cahill has come on, and he's had a resurgence on Joe Madden's Cubs.
I mean, they signed him in the middle of August, activated him on September 1st, and in 11 appearances with just Chicago, unbelievable splits as far as his walks to strikeouts.
The Chevrolet pitch arsenal, you see it there. He started the season with the Atlanta Braves and pitched in 15 games, made 3 starts. He was 0-3 with an ERA of 7.5. Braves released him in June, signed a minor league deal with the Cubs in August. And he has performed very well in those 11 relief appearances. Got a tough customer on his hands here, and Yoenis Cespedes. Cespedes a couple of strikeouts, and then he fouled the ball down the right side that Rizzo made a great play, reaching into the stands to snare in the 6th.
Great thing about this game, and when you saw Cahill earlier in the year for Atlanta, he looked lost. Looked like maybe his career was done. And he comes back and becomes an important part of the bullpen for the Cubs.
3 balls and a strike. This is a guy who won 18 games in 2010 and was an American League All-Star as a member of the A's. In Arizona last season, he was 3-12. Broken bat, squibber to second. Estella throws him out. 2 up and 2 down here in the New York 8th.
Well, it looked like he found his sinker. Could be as simple as that. Always had some good breaking stuff. Sometimes the angle of his sinker, and this is a 3-1 pitch. You got a pretty good, darn good sinker. You get in on Cespedes, 3-1.
Probably felt pretty good, didn't it, Cal?
I think the ones off the end of the bat nights like this feel a whole lot worse than that one. It does take the spirit out of you wanting to hit, though.
Sapping your very spirit. Here is Travis d'Arnaud. This was a shot in the 6th inning. Straight away center field for the Mets catcher.
That's why the Mets organization just loved this kid. His only issue is, can he stay on the field? He's had some injuries, 2 more this year.
Deal worked out pretty well. That R.A. Dickey trade. And the Mets send him to Toronto, and you get d'Arnaud, you get Noah Syndergaard in exchange. And he will go down swinging here on the change to end the 8th. We are heading to the 9th in game 1. Mets lead it by 2. Castro, Soler, Montero due here in the 9th.
Astros had a good game. He had that run-scoring double and then lined out to Murphy at second base.
Jeurys Familia looking to nail down another one for the Mets. If you're wondering, the last time the Cubs won a game in the postseason when trailing after 8. 1910 World Series Game 4 against Philadelphia. Won that one in 10.
Well, they've been breaking all the rules all year this year, Joe Maddon's Cubs. He might have been the most important free agent signing of players and managers last year. Changed the entire culture around the Chicago team.
2 balls, 1 strike. Now 3-1. Cubs need a runner on to bring the tying run to the plate. And when Familia came on, he did walk the first batter he faced, Chris Bryant, but then got Rizzo to ground out to short. .97 miles an hour to run the count full. Not exactly sure if that's for warmth or because you can't bear to watch here in the ninth inning. Maybe a little bit of both. Castro waiting. The 3-2. Popped him up. Shallow right. Murphy back. One down. For Familia, 43 saves in the regular season. Tied the Mets franchise record held by Armando Benitez, and he kind of reminds you of Benitez, doesn't he, Cal?
Yeah, the liveliness of his arm. As a horse, you could look at him and say he can go multiple innings. Armando was really valuable to our club.
Jorge Soler takes a strike, 0-1.
In a setup role, Randy Myers saved all those games that year, but he never pitched in a tie game and never pitched in extra innings. Armando did all that.
And quickly the big right-hander jumps ahead 0-2.
Bottom just dropped out of that sinker.
That's a lot of movement for that speed.
Made him look bad, tied him up, and struck him out.
You don't see a lot of check swings on a fastball. Like a half swings, like you get fooled by it. Just moved and ran in on him. Started after it and realized he didn't want to.
10th strikeout by Mets pitching. Cubs struck out more than anybody in the regular season, though the Cardinals actually struck out more than they did in the NLDS. Here's Montero. Line drive. That's going to get through. And so the tying run will come to the plate. This place went from rocking to silent in the fraction of a second.
Montero said, I'm not sticking around. The first good one I'm going to hit. Ted Barrett with some nifty moves to get out of the way of that baseball.
That is the first hit that Familia has allowed this postseason. And here's Tommy La Stella. La Stella struck out in the 7th. That was in a pinch hitting role for David Ross. What a play by Murphy. He threw him out. And game 1 goes to the Mets.